everybody, and welcome back to Base Camp. Today is session 6 in our series on the Ten Commandments. And today we're going to be looking at honor your father and mother. This is found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Honor your father and mother, then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. This is a call for respect. There's some misunderstandings of what it means to honor, and it can mean to obey, but it doesn't necessarily mean to obey. For a very young child, that may mean, yes, definitely obey your parents, but as you get older, maybe not so much. It's one of those things that unfortunately has been abused. And it's complicated. It can become very, very complicated at times. I've unfortunately seen this command thrown in the face of more than a few kids over the years. Mostly adults and some teenagers. Unfortunately, some parents think that this means that they can control every aspect of their adult child's life. And that's not really what was intended. This is what's called spiritual abuse, and unfortunately, it's an unfortunate reality when the scriptures are twisted to say something that really was not intended. The Bible is very clear that parents should not use passages to manipulate and twist their children to do things that they really don't want to do, especially their adult children. If you look at Ephesians 6, chapter 6, verse 4, it says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord." So God never intended for this to mean that the parents should control every aspect of life, especially as you get older and get into your adult years. For example, parents should not dictate to their children what career path they should choose, or necessarily who they should marry, or where they should live. I mean, there's a whole host of things that, while parents can advise and should advise, they shouldn't necessarily try to dictate. And unfortunately, I've seen this verse thrown in the face of people who just want to make their own choices about their own lives. On the other hand, adult children should still respect their parents and care for them when necessary. In Matthew chapter 15, verses 3 through 6, it says, Jesus replied, "And why do you, by your traditions, violate the direct commandments of God? For instance, God says, 'Honor your father and mother,' and anyone who speaks disrespectfully of mother or father must be put to death. But you say it is all right for people to say to their parents, 'Sorry, I can't help you, for I have vowed to give to God what I would have given to you.' In this way, you say that they don't need to honor their parents, and so you cancel the word of God for the sake of your own tradition." In this passage, Jesus is dealing with a situation where help that should have been going to the elderly parents of the children was given to the temple, the Jewish temple at the time, and that's not right. We should help our parents when we can. That isn't to say that should be abused either. There comes a point where, yes, you have to live your own life. but that doesn't mean you get to shove mom and dad into a nursing home and forget about them. And even with that, there is exceptions, and it can get sticky and complicated, and frequently, unfortunately, there's not an easy answer. I know of situations where parents have done horrible things to their children, and how to handle that in a Christ-like manner, given the circumstances, without continuing to put yourself in harm's way. Again, not an easy answer. If you're in that kind of situation, please talk to your pastor, talk to a Christian counselor, talk to somebody who can help you navigate that situation, because it is never God's intention for anyone to be abused. Period. And ultimately, our first priority is God and our relationship with Him. Matthew chapter 10, verses 37 through 38. If you love your father or mother more than you love me, you are not worthy of being mine. Or if you love your son or daughter more than me, you are not worthy of being mine. If you refuse to take up your cross and follow me, you are not worthy of being mine. So our first priority should always be our relationship with Christ and how He would view us. Again, this is a very sticky topic, and frequently there is no easy answer. And if you are being abused, it's okay to set appropriate boundaries with your parents or children, vice versa. Because it is never God's will that anyone would ever be abused. But on the flip side of that, we need to be careful not to deny help just for a bruised ego. If you're in a situation where you're not sure what to do, please seek help. Sometimes you may need an outside perspective to help you navigate those sometimes tricky familial situation. That is about honoring your father and your mother. Next time we will be talking about how we should not murder and all the lovely implications of that. So we'll see you next time, and God bless.